This is not a game. This is not a hoax. 3 children were just taken, kidnapped at the same exact time at the Bobby's Way apartment complex.
Law enforcement officials must do something about Amber Alerts so that they can be true alerts. Many people are getting numb to the alerts and just simply turn their phones off because they oftentimes are not children who have been kidnapped. They are children who are involved in a parental custody fight, as was the case today. There were rumors going around that white supremacists had kidnapped them and they'd started kidnapping black children. But as a journalist and former crime reporter who has a lot of experience and knowledge on the Amber Hagerman kidnapping, which has never been solved. It was an 11-year-old girl in Arlington, Texas. My television station was very integral in covering that. And the reason that there was so much video is because our television station just a few days prior had done a story about her family, and she was riding on her bike in that video, the very bike that she was kidnapped from in 1996, kicking and screaming. Her life was taken. She was found in a ditch with her throat slit. And no one has ever been arrested for that case or tried. And so when the Amber Alert came out, it seemed to be a great way for people in the community to come together to find a child. The alert goes off on your phone. It goes off on television. Highway signs show cars. But do you guys know that almost 80% of those are simply, I call them false alarms. They are family custody cases. I have gotten to the point as a journalist, I don't even really pay attention to them, though I want to pay attention to them. But what I do is I look to see what are the facts behind it? What are the facts? Is it some guy who is from Mexico who is bringing his child back late from a weekend visit, and the mother reports that he's on his way to Mexico with the child? And oftentimes kids have different last names than their parents. And so the whole world is looking for them, and they're with their mother, which was the case this morning with the 3 black children. There were all kind of reports that their mom saw them getting, it was their mother who picked them up and took them with her. And they refer to her as an estranged mother, which means that she hasn't lost custody. If she's, that's what the story has turned out, is that she's somebody that, her kids didn't live with her. She picked them up at the bus stop. And in order to be able to rev this up, to be able to get the children back, probably the father's side of the family, could be a grandparent, a relative, it gets revved all the way up. And I really think that we need to stop doing that, because it really does. It is, it's a disgrace to the honor. It's a disgrace to the honor and memory of little Amber, who this alert was named after, because had they had this type of alert when she was kidnapped by a stranger, by not her dad, not her mom, not an aunt that took her to the mall and the mom is mad at her. I mean, they will put out Amber Alerts for pretty much anything. And then I'm sure some of you guys will come in, well, there was this one case where the dad had the kids and they took the kid's life. Okay, officers and investigators, they can decipher that. And we need to go back and review the Amber Alert system so that we can make sure that people will stop just ignoring the alert. Like, certainly if I'm busy, I will, in the beginning, when that alert would go off, everybody would jump up and start looking for the child. But now it could be a child that is another Amber, where a stranger has actually abducted them, a serial or a child with a Lester would have them, and no one would pay attention, because 80% of the time, it is a mom and a dad, or a grandparent and a parent, that's fighting over the custody of a child, and they get mad and they know that the other parent is going to bring the kid back, but to rev it up because they want to make sure that they get custody, or they want to help them get their kid back, or because they're angry, they call the authorities and interrupt all of our lives over their family drama, over something that needs to go before a judge. We are all looking around. So, I mean, people were so alarmed about these children. As I said, people thought that white supremacists had gotten them, and all these stories were going around. And I said, as soon as I heard it, watch, I bet you anything, they mama or they daddy got them. And usually with the Amber Alerts, they don't even tell you how they turn out. They don't even tell you how they turn out. The whole world's supposed to stop and look for a child, and then they've been found safe. Let us know what happened. Better yet, if it is a child custody battle and case, Okay. And you know that these are two people or some families that's fighting over a child. Do not involve the entire world. Do not involve the rest of us. I mean, why? I'm all the way on the other side of the country. Why did my whole day need to be interrupted? Because three little kids' mama wanted them back. She didn't hurt them. And 9 times out of 10, they don't. Because we know this because 80% of Amber Alerts are child custody battles where one parent is mad at the other parent and they're being vindictive and they want to keep the child away from them. And so therefore they put out this Amber Alert. If it's such a small percentage of kids that we really should be looking for, because of that, a lot of people don't look. And as a journalist and someone who was there in the beginning when the whole Amber Alert originated, I don't even pay attention anymore. We need to go back to the drawing table so that we can actually find children who are missing, as opposed to getting in the middle of and interrupting our entire day because families are fighting over custody of kids that are only going to be kids for so many years. Do better.